Misunderstanding of law of karma does not make law of karma invalid.
Meaning, what do you mean by that statement?
Namaste. My name is Bidhan. 2012 is when I chanced upon Upanishads, and it had a profound impact on my life. Since then, I have dreamt to bring the key aspects of Upanishads in a manner which is simple, relatable, and implementable in our daily lives. So here we are with a set of videos to make spirituality simple. Welcome, Preeti.
Hi, Bidhan.
And welcome, my dear audience. It's very nice that a lot of you have registered for our workshops. We have already conducted 19 of them. If you haven't, go ahead and put the details in the description below, and we will reach out to you as soon as we are conducting our next workshop. And I hope you're enjoying the sessions on karma. We never anticipated that we will have so many episodes on karma itself, but I think it's worth the time. Thank you.
Okay, on that note, I think I'd like to sum up the conversation we had last, right? We spoke about the law of karma, and also you had introduced the concept of jiva that moves from one lifetime to another.
Yeah, we spoke about rebirths.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm still uncomfortable with a few points there.
Why? Tell me that.
See, I feel the term karma is sort of being used to justify a lot of things. Let me give you some examples.
Right.
Like, say, even if you talk about the caste system, if you talk about any caste that is not doing too well, you would immediately say that it is because of their previous karma, right? And I also know of people who sort of don't do anything and they just say, oh, this is my karma. Or there's like certain sense of apathy. Like, what I would mean is, if they see someone suffering or someone is going through a bad time, people just say, that's probably their karma.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm getting stuck.
I understand. And I see from where you're coming. Let me give an example which kind of corroborates to what you have been saying. For a change, both of us will be on the same track, right? So when I was conducting my sessions, in one of the participant, when he started talking about karma and law of karma, he started feeling extremely uncomfortable. I had a discussion with him later, and he said, "Look, Bidhan, there is a problem with this concept." And he explained me the entire story that happened in his life. He said that his uncle actually lost his son, in a very difficult situation. In fact, he raised his son with a lot of love and care, to an extent that he never forced him to do anything, to an extent that he never placed any responsibility on him. And the son also never did anything much. And when he was around 35 years old, he started blackmailing his father, which is his uncle, saying that you have to put the property in my name. If you don't do it, I'll start drinking or I'll start taking drugs. His uncle decided not to transfer property in his name, and he started using alcohol, drugs, and unfortunately he succumbed to it. And he survived by his wife and his son. Now, of course, his uncle was devastated. He met an astrologer, and what astrologer told him that apparently you are going through a difficult phase called Sadesati. And there was some sort of a karmic imbalance with your soul, and everything is sorted right now. So there's nothing much to worry about. So his uncle took solace from what the astrologer told and carried on in his life. So far, so good. But he never learned from his mistakes that in all possibilities, his upbringing has made his son a certain way. Because he never did anything to force him to do something when he was young. And since he did not learn from that, he's doing the same mistake with his grandson.
Okay.
He's doing the same mistake with his grandson. He's not putting any kind of restrictions on him, any kind of a discipline, and is doing exactly the same thing which he has done with his son, because he simply blindfoldedly accepted things what the astrologer told him. He never learned, moved on, and he will get into the same problem after a point of time. So I see where you're coming from, that sometimes we just take law of karma and say that it's my karma, and I just don't do anything. We don't learn anything about it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, some fatalistic nature comes in there, I think.
You're right. But let me also tell you this, that misunderstanding of law of karma does not make law of karma invalid.
Meaning, what do you mean by that statement?
See, you can use astrology for any purpose. We can misinterpret and misrepresent astrology by making some holistic statements or trying to make certain predictions and doing things for which astrology is not made. Look, astrology is a very important part of our Veds. It's called Vedanga. But astrology has to be seen in the right context from the right framework. Just because we are misusing astrology does not necessarily mean astrology is bad. Similarly, karma and the law of karma has to be seen from the right context. If karma is seen from the right context, let me tell you, it can be extremely empowering and can create wonderful possibilities for us.
Okay, I see where you're coming from, but can you tell me what perspective, what is this concept you're talking about?
Okay, so we spoke the journey of Jiva, right? Yes. From one life to another. So let me introduce a concept of prarabdha. What does prarabdha mean? In the very simplistic term, we are born in this life with certain conditions which is beyond our scope of doing anything. Say, for example, we are born in a certain family with certain genetics, with certain date and time, right? Also, we are born with certain mental impressions. They call it vasanas or samskaras. So you know, right, that this two people can actually behave in two different ways in the same circumstances, even if they're identical twins. Yeah, I've heard this. You've heard this. So it's on account of samskara. So the fact is that prarabdha clearly says that there are certain events that you're born into, and there's nothing that you can do about it. It's like you're playing a game of chess. Certain moves are already made, and there are certain moves that you can make. That is what prarabdha is.
So you're saying that my present life is influenced by all my past life experiences?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. The funniest part about this, Preeti, is that your present life, what you are experiencing right now, is it on account of your prarabdha, or is it on account of the choices you have made in this life? You will never know. It's very difficult to know your present situation is on account of your prarabdha or on account of the choices that you have made in this life.
So you're saying if I have like a very bad boss, or if I have a trouble during my relationships or anything, I don't know whether it is because of my prarabdha
Yeah.
or because it is of something that I have done in this lifetime. You're saying there's no way to put a finger on it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then, I mean, the question is, why do I even need to know about it then?
You know, very disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not disappointment. I think at the end of the day, I think I would just take like a stoic approach where,
What is stoic approach?
let's say, I just accept that, okay, this is my fate.
Okay.
This is what's happening in my life. If something good happens, I'm grateful for it. If something not so good happens, then I probably will cry over it. But then pick myself up and then sort of see what are the options left.
That's a beautiful thing, Preeti. If you can accept the situation as it is and move on by creating new possibilities, you don't need to believe in prarabdha. This is absolutely fine. Carry on with this.
Then that makes the law of karma invalid, right?
No, law of karma is not invalid. What is law of karma saying? Law of karma is saying is that every action that you take will have an outcome right now and will also have an outcome after a point of time. This is what law of karma is saying. What you are contesting is that the outcome which will happen after a point of time cannot go into multiple lifetimes because you really don't know about it. So if you think really, you're not contesting karma or law of karma. What you are contesting is that how can you say that the invisible outcome goes beyond multiple lifetimes? That's what you're trying to say. So your issue is prarabdha, your issue is not law of karma. Am I right?
So then what happens to the prarabdha? What happens to these external circumstances that we're talking about?
Why you are so hell-bent upon wanting to understand prarabdha? You said that is fine, right? You can take a stoic approach. If you take a stoic approach, no need to believe in prarabdha because work is sorted. And it feels to me that you want to be somewhere, you want to believe in prarabdha. That's what appears to me.
I mean, I think I can only say one statement. Like,
Okay, interesting.
probably there is some sort of a feeling of hope or something, because I know that there is some sort of continuity and it doesn't end right here.
So somewhere prarabdha gives you some kind of a hope that you are continuing into multiple lifetimes. So you want to hold on to it, but you're not able to get a logical explanation, and therefore you feel conflicted, isn't it? Yes. That's what you're trying to say. So somewhere I think you want prarabdha to be true, but what you're not getting
Is a conflict between the logic and the feeling.
See, in the last episode, we spoke about Shruti, Yukti, and Anubhava. That kind of helps to understand the rebirth and law of karma in a very nice way. But I do understand it's a new concept, it's a new way of looking at things, and it becomes a little challenging.
Maybe I can just say, why do I need to know about prarabdha?
Okay.
Why? Can you tell me why do I need to know?
Because it helps in acceptance and growth.
I'm waiting for you to say something else. You can't just say acceptance and growth and stop. What do you mean by that?
Let's assume that we all believe that there is no prarabdha, right? And everything is random. Let's for a moment believe that everything is random, right? And what do you mean by random? It simply means that there is no logic to it. There's no explanation and there's no purpose. It is what it is. Correct? Let's do a thought experiment right here. You go for an examination and you know that you haven't worked hard. And as a result, you didn't score good marks in exam. Will you feel bad about it?
No, you didn't study, you didn't get good marks.
Okay. Now imagine that you have studied very, very hard and you actually wrote the examination paper very well. And you are expecting good marks. But your faculty comes and tells you, Preeti, this time we have randomly chosen which student is going to pass and which student is going to fail. Bad luck. It was random. You flunked. Will you ever trust the system?
No.
Never? No. So if you see that if everything is random and there's no purpose to it, the only thing that you will be feeling every moment is scared. That let me take care of myself because I don't know, nothing matters. Anything can hit me any given point of time.
Yeah.
So you'll be scared most of the time.
Yeah.
But law of karma says nothing is random. It says that whatever you are doing will have an outcome, not only now, but in multiple lifetimes. And what does it do to you? It helps you to take responsibility of everything that you do today.
Okay, it helps you take responsibility. Okay, but earlier you had mentioned that it helps me with acceptance.
It helps me with acceptance. Look, sometimes in life there are very troubling events that happens. Let's take an example, a loss of a loved one, a loss of a child without any apparent mistake of anyone. How do you even accept that situation? And that is where the law of karma helps. That is where the prarabdha helps. It does not take away the pain, but it allows you to accept the situation as it is.
So, I mean, even with what you're just saying, let's take the examples that you just used of losing a loved one or a child, right? I feel it will not take the pain away knowing about the law of karma, correct? True. And even in the old example that you gave of the old man who had lost his child and then he was bringing up his grandson, I feel even he has not really, if I can say it right, learned from his mistakes. He's sort of repeating the same patterns again. So then where is the acceptance there? Like acceptance is not helping there, right?
You're right, Preeti. Acceptance doesn't mean that I blame my past and carry on with the life. Acceptance doesn't mean that. It's a very sad concept. Acceptance also doesn't mean resignation. That jo hona tha ho gaya, what do I do about it? Right? I know of a teacher, she had a child who had learning difficulties, and unfortunately she lost her child. Extremely painful. Extremely painful. And today, what she's doing is that she's teaching a lot of children who have learning challenges. Not that her pain for her child has gone. She still remembers him very, very fondly. But she has been able to accept the situation using law of karma and trying to create beautiful possibilities. It still hurts. But at least she's moving ahead in life and doing something worthwhile. And she sees her child in many other children. Isn't that beautiful?
It is
That is acceptance.
Okay.
That is acceptance. I know of many people who are stuck in their whys. Why life is so difficult? Why did I get such parents? Why did I get such spouse? Why is this? Why is that? They're not even talking about what do I do next. They're stuck in that why. Sometimes law of karma helps them to say, this is it. Accept the responsibility. Don't be stuck in the whys all the time. Accept it as you're maybe as you're doing. But more importantly is, what do I do next? So if we really understand prarabdha and law of karma very well, we move away from why to what do I do next. So acceptance is all about creating a space for a meaningful or a mindful action. That's how I look at acceptance. It's not about letting go of pain. Pain will not go, it will go when it has to go.
Helps you come out of that loop.
Yes, it helps you come out of that loop. Okay. And let me ask you, Preeti, is life always bad? Can I ask you one thing? Aren't certain instances which has happened in your life and my life and everybody's life, which is so beautiful, and we never worked for it?
Yeah. I mean, I think when you say karma, we always think only the negative, only the bad things. But like you're saying, yes, there are some unexpected things that happen in your life. Unexpected help that comes from some source that you never thought of.
Yeah.
Or some sort of opportunity that suddenly just appears.
Absolutely, you see that life is brimming with possibilities. I know of a couple who met themselves in a railway station when someone was asking an address, and they are happily married today. Hopefully, they remain happily married later as well. But the fact of the matter is, there are so many things which is happening today which you haven't worked for. What about that?
Okay.
Do you see this?
That can also be my prarabdha.
That is also your prarabdha, by the way. That is not, prarabdha is not bad. All the time that we look at it, karma is also creating possibilities for you. And that is where I feel, when I told you, I feel there is a lot of hope. If I understand the concept of prarabdha well, what it tells me is that whatever actions that I do right now, it allows me to reap the benefits not only now, but in the future. I'm sounding very materialistic, but it does give me hope, because I know for sure that my actions will reap outcomes.
Wow. Okay.
And at the same time, it helps me to stand by my truth. Because a lot of time we want to evade and take a easier path. But if I understand the law of karma and prarabdha really well, I know that I may face challenges today. But by taking right actions, allows me to reap benefits much later.
Benefits maybe in this lifetime, but also possible benefits in future lifetimes.
I'm just saying in the future, and this is not the first lifetime that we are. Right? Look, you know that I'm a private banker, right? When I make investments, I like investing into good companies. And you may go through certain amount of pain right now, but it gives you very rich dividend for rest of your life. I have seen it. Long-term investors. I don't trade. I really don't like short-term trades, purely because I know that if we make right choices today, mindful choices today, the benefits, whether you're picking up right stocks or right funds or right kind of actions, the benefits can be phenomenal. And therefore, I feel if we understand law of karma well, we can really use it to our benefit.
Nice. And somewhere I think it is my prarabdha that we are having this conversation now.
And it is my prarabdha that I am facing such difficult questions from you. But I really appreciate it. This is how it has been taught. This is how it is being taught in Upanishads. You should never shy away from asking right questions.
Thank you for saying that, because I have one very nice question now.
I knew that's my prarabdha.
So I understand that the law of karma is outcomes, right? Why is it that I can't read everything in this lifetime? Like, why does it need to spill over to different lifetimes when I can't even actually remember what the deed was? I mean,
I knew this was coming. So what you're asking, let me reframe the question. You're saying, why can't I reap all the benefits of good work I have done in this lifetime? Why does it need to come in the future lifetime as well? Why do I need to be lucky in future lifetime also? I will answer the question to you, provided you sum up what we have spoken so far in a very short manner.
In today's conversation, yes, yeah. You introduced the concept of prarabdha. I understood that. That is what the past life experiences is getting transferred, right? And you had also mentioned that law of karma helps us with acceptance, and it also helps us to take responsibility and grow from that, so that we are not stuck in that loop, and it helps us to move forward without getting stuck in that why patterning of going on asking why does this happen, why does that happen. Yes. And I think one of the main points that I can take away is karma is not just for the negative things. Yes. It gives us hope, because it also, prarabdha also is for the benefits of what we have done this lifetime or previous lifetime. I think that is what is really stuck with me.
I'm happy that you're able to see that.
Like a light bulb moment, like, okay, karma is not just a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not just a bad thing. We always been using karma to say something wrong has happened. It's not always that. There are a lot of good things which is happening in our life. We should take notice of that, and that's where the gratitude practice helps. Coming up with the question that you asked, right? So you mentioned to me that you had a big garden in your home when you were in When I was growing. You're growing up, right? Suppose I give you 3 seeds. One is of guava, another is of say a mango, and third of coconut, and you plant it in your backyard. How long it will take for it to become a full grown tree?
I know where you're going, but okay. Guava probably, I don't know, 3 to 4 years.
Yes.
Mango 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
And coconut is longer, I think 10 to 12 years.
But very unfair, Preeti, right? Why should it take different times? It should all grow simultaneously and they start fructifying simultaneously, isn't it? I know you are laughing because you have understood what I'm trying to say, but why don't we pick up this topic in detail in the next session? And till the time, just mull over what I told you.
Yes, you can't get away with giving these analogies. You have to answer me properly.
I will answer you. To my audience, I would like to know, how do you look at karma? Is karma a way to just blame what is happening, do nothing about it? Or karma gives you a space of acceptance, and from there, you create possibilities of beautiful actions that makes our life better? Please go ahead and put it out in the comments below. And those of you who want to be a part of our workshops, go ahead, put your names in the description below. Very soon we'll get back to you whenever we are conducting our next session.
And if you like this episode, do share it with your friends. Do subscribe to the channel, like, forward, and share the episode. Thank you so much.